Hey traders, TG Watkins here. It's June 19th, Friday morning when I'm recording this. I hope you guys are enjoying your day off from the market. I'm going to make this video so that I have the rest of my weekend, and we're about to go see the America versus Australia soccer game today at some watch party down in Seattle area. So it's going to be a fun time for us, and yeah, as I said, want to kind of get this out of the way. We got a lot to talk about: FOMC, some TLT action with interest rates. Basically Warsh came out and was kind of talking tough. People kind of looked at that, and especially at the end of the day, Wednesday, the market rolled over pretty hard. And I think a lot of us were expecting Thursday to be more downside. And it was either a combination of people kind of were able to understand Warsh a little bit better, maybe the market overreacted. But also, my understanding is that Iran signed the Memorandum of Understanding sooner. They were supposed to sign it on Friday. They signed it on Thursday. And that might have been part of the reason why the market came back up on Thursday. Either way, I'll take it because amazingly, it ran into some technical levels perfectly. And TLT continued to go up, which is what I've been looking at also. I'm going to talk to you guys about the pairs trade that we've been doing, USO versus Jets. That's been doing very, very well. You can see here, we were talking about it. Brian, one of the new subscribers in here, USO short, he's up 35%. I think he actually said he was up closer to 50% since USO dropped even further the next day, and he's trading some options on that one. Also talk about SoFi, he's up 50% on that. I don't have an official trade on SoFi. It's something we've been talking about in the room. As far as our trades for the week, we cashed in some profits on UNH. We had a call debit spread, like a leap spread. That was 150%. Robin, we did the leverage ETF of Robinhood or Hood, and that was 53%. And then Netflix, this is my second time trying Netflix. This time there was news that got leaked out that Netflix might be looking to buy Lionsgate or merge with them. And so anytime you get something like that, the company doing the buying tends to go down because they're taking on a debt, whereas the company who would be getting bought out or get bought tends to go up. So if you look at Lion, the stock, it went up, Netflix went down. So I was like, I'm just not going to deal with this. So we got 45% loss on that one. So I'm just going to let Netflix go for a long time. Probably not going to touch it again on that one. As far as other things happening in the room, we have Vijay over here. He was saying that my recommendations on ARKG, this is one of the ones that I was talking about, saying, hey, I think that if ARKG is going to be going up, that's a risk on stock category, basically. That's been doing well. I'm happy to see he's doing well with those trades. And we were talking about FAS, which is the leverage ETF of XLF, and the financials have been doing well also. And then we got Kraut over here. He's been trading Robinhood with us, and he did some options. Apparently, he's up 178% on my guidance for that one. So I'm happy to see, again, more people in the trading room doing well from the callouts that I've been having in the room. And then also Prasad, I think he's relatively new to the room. Yep, new to Moxie, so trying to learn the elf shoe patterns and everything that I teach. He said you're so good at explaining things that he's loving it. So if you guys are struggling in the market or want to see a different view or how we're doing in the Moxie room, remember to come over here to simplertrading.com/Moxie, and then you can see how I teach, how I educate. I'm very much of an engineer, so that's how I've kind of looked at the market. And apparently I'm really good at explaining things about these patterns and the things that I have. So I think people really resonate with it. So come on over, come into the room, and say hi when you get there. All right, this is we're going to go through kind of just the general view of the market, and then I'll show you guys a couple specific tickers down here. All right, so let's get into it. And as far as the SPX, if you guys remember last week, the market was coming down, and once we finally bounced, because we were able to bounce going into the end of last week. And I said, at this point, we should still expect some choppiness. We did get Monday that opened up, but then you can see we kind of faded for the rest of the week. This is kind of the choppiness I was talking about, because the market just didn't seem like it's just ready to keep running at this point. Of course, there are quite a few stocks that are doing well, but for the most part, as far as the index goes, it needed to come down. What I will point out, and this is kind of what's very interesting, from the FOMC to the Iran signature, you can see here we pulled back to the hourly 50. So far, for me, for how I teach and how I look at the markets, that's perfect. Having a pullback into the hourly 50, right on cue. Now, the real question is, what happens next week? We need, if this is going to continue to look good and start going higher, we need price to pretty much hold that hourly 50 and go up from there. The Moxie Indicator is still a little bit below zero, so if the market holds the hourly 50 and goes up, we want to see the Moxie Indicator cross over zero pretty soon. However, if this does not hold the hourly 50 and the Moxie indicator stays below 0, then this will be an inverse trampoline move. And an inverse trampoline move is when price is over the 50, but the Moxie indicator is below 0, meaning that price should not be over the 50 if the Moxie indicator is below 0. So we basically, again, we're still kind of sideways, we're still in chop zone. I want to give it the benefit of the doubt because we are over these moving averages. We are over here on the daily chart, and generally things are looking pretty good. And we just need to see if we can get follow through. And if we don't follow through, then we'll have to kind of reassess and see what's going on with the market and why I didn't want to go up. All right, so that's the SPX. If you look at the NASDAQ, it's also, looking pretty good. It's right back at previous all-time highs. And again, right there, call it a liquidation break if you want, but that was a nice way to kind of come back, tag up, test the moving averages, and then you can see here, we're even higher on the 15. So as long as price continues to hold these moving averages and test support and basically grind higher, we're going to be good. And again, the Moxie indicator should be crossing over 0 pretty soon, as long as this stuff continues to the upside. And then if we come over and we look at, let's look at the RSP. Also generally looking pretty good. There was a big move up here for the beginning of the week. Great. And then you can see here again, so far it's just a pullback into the daily 21. So far I can't see anything too bad about this. It's a pullback, and we're looking for these pullbacks to hold in through here. And then if we come over and look at the IWM's looking great, honestly, and the IWM's looking great because the TLT has been going up. So generally market interest rates have been coming down. You can see, yes, it pulled back a little bit. That's great though. It really pulled back into the daily 8. And if you look at the hourly chart, that looks like a pretty good flag right into the hourly 50 to me. So I don't see anything wrong here. The Moxie indicator is above 0, and we're just looking for these things to continue higher. And if they don't continue higher, then we'll reassess at that time. SMH, also semiconductors still leading the way. You can see here a little bit of a pullback into the hourly 50 and new all-time highs. So yeah, semiconductors and the index is still doing well. And you can see here Moxie indicator above 0. And then if we look at ARKK, I just want to kind of show you guys some other things in through here. If we look at this, it has been choppy, but for the most part, it's been holding the daily 50. I know there's a little bit of a dip there, but notice that the Moxie indicator has been above 0. So this is a regular trampoline move. Price should not be below the 50 if the Moxie indicator is above 0. So if this is a bullish situation, then generally these dips are buyable, and we're looking for them to go back up because the Moxie indicator and momentum are above 0. So at this point, I'm looking for a breakout. As long as this continues, this is looking pretty good. The dips have been getting bought, a level has been holding, and if we can see follow through to the upside, that would be awesome. So even ARKK is getting in on the action after flagging for a while. And then here's FFTY. I haven't talked about this one in a while. This is the IBD 50. Looking pretty good, basically a nice flag right into the daily 50 as well. And look at this, new all-time highs right here. So it's breaking out too. The IBD 50 is looking great. FNGU, which is the MAGs, the FANG stocks. And if we look at MAGs themselves, they did have a pretty big pullback over the last couple weeks. We all kind of know that things got a little ahead of themselves. But for the most part, what I'm looking at is this could be just a nice test of the daily 50. And in fact, it looks like a double bottom off of the daily 50. And once again, just like the NASDAQ and the S&P, we had a nice pullback to the hourly 50. Now the Moxie indicator still has some work to do. That's why we need this to prove itself. We do need price to hold these moving averages. We need the Moxie indicator to get over 0. If they don't, if price starts to roll over again, and if the Moxie indicator stays below 0, then yeah, that's going to be a problem. But until that happens, I'm going to lean to the upside because everything else is looking pretty good. I'll show you MAGs as well. This is another situation that we've been talking about both in the Moxie room and the Mastery in the Trade room. Is from the bounce on Monday, I said, be careful, we should still expect some sort of pullback. That Monday bounce, I said, it's still just a bounce. We don't actually have any confirmed upside yet. And you can see here, we got a pullback. The other thing I had been guiding is that some stocks were pulling back to their hourly 50s perfectly and holding. Other stocks might need to go down to a prior low. And that's what we're seeing with Amazon and Google, mostly those two that I've been watching, and MAGs here. You can see it needed to come down to a prior low. And now what I'm wondering is if we've put in some positive divergence right there. So again, we're right at the point where this pullback for the week has held, and we're trying to see if we're going to get some more upside continuation going into next week on that. Okay, so that takes care of that. If we show you the breadth, let's kind of look over here. Not too much to really say here. You know, the market's been going sideways for a little bit, and you can kind of see that breadth has kind of been going with that too. You know, the 20-day was moving up for a little bit, kind of got knocked down a little bit, and you can see here kind of got knocked down a little bit. I don't see any red flags yet. We'll just have to keep an eye on it. For the most part, things are looking okay. So yeah, not too much to say there. Then if we look at the VIX, a little bit to point out here is that we know we got that big pullback right there. You know, when the, you know, kind of SpaceX and the market got a little overbought, we got the big pullback, so we got the pop in the VIX. And then as far as the market pulling back on Wednesday after FOMC, once again, look here. This could be a nice test of resistance. So the VIX was getting a little oversold, a little stretched to the downside, and bounced right up into resistance and then came back down. So far, that's looking pretty good. And the Moxie indicator is firing to the downside. So again, as long as this continues downward, everything's going to be great. If this for some reason holds and wants to start going up, then we'll have to reassess. And if we look at the UVIX, the couple things to also note here, when the market was coming down for kind of SpaceX and getting overbought, and we had that big pullback onto the SPX Daily 50, right around here is where I said, hey, we should actually be expecting the market to go up because we should be expecting the UVIX to go down because it came right into this moving average and right into that moving average. And that's why I said we should expect this to come down at that point. That made the market go up. That's great. And at this point, the only other thing I can point out is that, you know, UVIX and the VIX got a little bit oversold and a little bit of a bounce and maybe a bear flag. Again, Moxie indicator is starting to fire to the downside, and we're just waiting for this to keep going lower. If it goes higher, again, we'll reassess at the time, but so far I'm looking for VIX and UVIX to continue going lower. All right, let's go look at UNH. This was the leap that I had on here, leap spread. We actually got into this thing all the way back here, and I thought it was going to do pretty well right there, but earnings, something changed, I think, with the government and payout rates or something like that. So it got knocked down. I decided to hang on to it because it was a leap, and I was like, well, you know, let's see what happens. And then more news changed with the government and Medicare and whatever, stuff like that, and it jumped up. So I decided to take this move as just some profits. I am targeting probably closer to 500 if we can get there. But with this kind of extension, I like to take profits because I do feel like we're probably going to get a pullback before we go higher. So always good to kind of cash some stuff in. Robinhood has been extremely strong. Very, very happy with this. I have been talking about this one for probably a few months at this point. I was talking about it here when there was a move. I was talking about it here when there was a move. And then I finally decided to say, hey, let's take a public trade right there in the room. And from right there to right there is where we took some profits. It was 53% gain on Robin, which is the leverage ETF. And as he said, saw Kraut and some other people trading options. You know, everybody's doing their own thing inside the room. I guide them. I tell you guys what I'm doing and what I think is going to be happening to the market. And if you want to take your own kind of trades, you can do that, you know, as we talk about in the room. So nice, quick little trade right there. Very, very strong with the market. And then Netflix, just to show you guys this, I was looking for price to come in to the previous low, which it looked like it was doing. I was starting to see some divergence, like you can see price down, Moxie indicator up, and I thought we were one day away from Netflix going up and crossing over the hourly 50, but I was one day too early because then that news, that leaked news about them possibly buying out Lionsgate, which I think it's Lion. Yeah, you can, was that it? Yeah, there you go. And you can see right there, volume and spike up. So just bad timing as far as some news coming out on that one. So I said, all right, let's just leave that one alone. And then if you guys remember the pairs trade, and for any of you who are new to me and you have not seen some of my videos, go back a few weeks to where I put out a video on YouTube and I was calling about a pairs trade. And that means you're long something and short something else. Well, it was right around here. So if you guys want to go back and look, I think it was right around May 27th, so the end of May, about this pairs trade. And I said, you still need to wait for an entry, but I said, oil should be coming down, airlines going up. And I gave my reasons and everything else for that because I've seen divergences. Well, there we go. Totally worked out. So you can see here's the Moxie price trigger to the downside. This is the inverse trampoline move. Remember, price over the 50, but the Moxie indicator below 0 is an inverse trampoline move. It's a bearish setup, and that worked out beautifully. And you can even see here right there is where price also confirmed yet again to the downside. Now, Oil seems to be getting a little bit stretched to the downside, so don't be surprised if we get a little bit of bounce. If you still want this trade, I think there's still more downside, but I would wait for an entry. If you can get a bounce, I would wait for a bounce and see if you can then get a fresh short entry. That also means that Jets has been doing well. These are the airlines. Doing very, very well. You know, I started talking about it right here. I said, wait for a pullback. There was your pullback. There's your move. And again, just like USO is getting a little bit stretched to the downside, Jets is getting a little bit stretched to the upside at a previous high. So I've been telling the Moxie crew, expect a pullback in Jets, whether you want to take profits or just wait for the dip and buy more. Either one you want to do, but I think you should be expecting a little bit of a pullback. So I still think there's plenty of opportunities in these two names as that pairs trade. Okay, and then we actually took a short out there. Worked out beautifully. This is another thing that we were seeing. This is a setup on a weekly chart. Because I see the configuration on the weekly chart for this particular name, I said, oh, I think this name is actually going to pull back pretty big. You know, I think there's got lots of room. And yes, this was a really big run to the upside. Would have been nice to be long, but man, I just wasn't watching this name. So now I see a short opportunity, and it was right here. We took the short there. And then I said, I think it posted the day before, I said, look, this thing will confirm when price breaks the hourly 50. Well, look right there. It broke the hourly 50. We actually added to it that morning. So we added to the short right there, and now we're down right here. It is testing the daily 21. I am expecting a little bit of a bounce in through here, but after that, I'm kind of thinking that price should go down to the daily 50 or below. So right now let's see, how much did we get out of this? We're up 11%. Yeah, not too shabby. And I think we could possibly get, let's see, we could probably get anywhere from 26 to maybe 32%. That's kind of my idea of what we can get on this name to the downside. And then once we're done going down, I might actually trade this thing to the upside, because the weekly setup actually looks pretty good for an upside move, and pulling back into an uptrending daily 50 with that daily Moxie indicator above 0 should be a pullback dip buy. So that's why I am trading this both to the downside and then most likely to the upside if I can find that entry. So looking pretty good on that. And guys, remember, if you're interested in coming over and checking out my trading and the education that I provide inside of the Moxie room, remember to come over to simplertrading.com/Moxie, and then come say hi inside the chat room when you're there. All right, guys, you take care. Enjoy your 3-day weekend, and I'll see you on Monday. Take care.